So guys, driving it more effectively. Got a great video here for you as we look at the the basic solid structure, the swing style, geometry for a driver. We're going to be looking at some evidence-based material later on in the video. What we're looking at doing is keeping ourselves really centered on the way back and getting really good structure in this swing here, because later in the downswing we're going to be moving the hips forwards, and that's right, we're going to be getting the head to actually move back in the latter part of the downswing. So it's almost like we've got, in the golf swing, things twisting, moving simultaneously in opposite directions at the same time. And this is one of those areas where we look at the separation points of the golf swing. Makes the game quite difficult. But when we use evidence-based material, when we use facts, when we understand it, we get some patience and we have a bit of a plan. This is different to your iron shots. Alright, so when you're looking at an iron shot, it's been tested at impact that for the tour pros, their heads at impact in regards to their address position are a couple of centimetres on average further forwards. We have lots of lateral shift, but the top half here, due to compression and the iron and hitting it on the way down, the head is further forwards. Now, tests done with the driver, with people like Dr. Robert J. Neal, the world's leading biomechanic golf instructor and specialist, who's actually on partners with me on WorldClassGolf.com. And what we're looking at here is getting this information of the best players in the world, and it's the actual opposite. We still have lateral movement, of course, but we have the head in the latter part of the swing moving down and slightly to the right. We're getting this left side up as a result. And this is what and where it gets us into a fantastic position. We're going to have a look at a couple of drills to keep ourselves centered. We want to put it into a simple packet, right? Because when you're out there playing, when you're practicing, you want to have two sort of basic thoughts. And guys, this is to get the structure of your driver swing moving in the right direction. We're trying to keep ourselves centered here on the way back, and you'll probably see my head here just moving slightly to the right. Nice solid strike in the latter part of the downswing. We can almost get a bit of an arching in the back. Right, let's have a look at a couple of drills here and a couple of feels of things we can use before we move into some of this evidence-based material. Slow motion clips, guys, you've got to work on the correct things. If you're looking at 100 tour players and they're all within a couple of degrees of each other, it makes sense to look at that and say, well, where am I? Right, these guys are perhaps, the best players in the world. What are they doing that I'm not? Can I get closer? If I get closer, I'll hit the ball better, I have lower scores, I have more fun. So let's have a look at some great little drills here before we get into those clips. So guys, you can be quite inventive when you're looking at creating feels with your drills. I've got like a steel rod here with a cut-off foam roller. I use lots of these things in my training. And we've got the long steel rod here. It's quite the aluminium rod with like a foam thing just taped to it. And this is quite good actually. I've been using this for quite a few years because you can also get quite a compact backswing. But we'll just have a look here. We're getting ourselves set up, and this first initial move is to create some good structure in your backswing so that you're not moving too much off the ball to start with. It's important to sort of get these reps in and keep your head nice and centered, drawing the right side back. And from here, what we're going to be looking at doing is when we're moving forwards, we're going to be bumping this hip and touching this foam roller, but the head's actually going to go back to the right. So we've got two moves, hips going forwards, heads going back. And this is a great way, when you get this, to shallow out the plane. That's right, this is going to help you get a lot further down from the inside for some of you out there struggling. Let's have a look at another feel here that we can put into this, like this driver swing. And perhaps one feel, one drill, it opens your eyes up. Perhaps another one, you'll get more of a connection to that. But to look at this swing and get this order of events correct, you'll be getting out of the wrong rabbit hole and down the right rabbit hole. And then from there, who knows, you might end up driving the ball really, really well. So guys, here we are, pretty cool golf hut, don't you think? Lots of stuff all over the place. If you're ever in Germany, get in contact with me. Guys, let's have a look at, I've got a bit of plastic rodding here, and I'm just going to move the shoulders into a motion here. Perhaps you can get a little bit of a feel with this shoulder plane, what I'm going to show you. I'll try not to touch my mic, I'll get it right up on top here. All right, so let's have a look. When we take our back swings, if you can see my shoulder plane here, watch the change over. All right, you see that little loop, you see that little right side drop. All right, now we're not going to be dropping our hands in behind us to try and come to the inside. That's absolute garbage. What we're going to be doing is letting our body and the wrists do the motion. So we're going to wind it up, but if you can see that motion here, and it doesn't mean we're not opening up our bodies, all right? It doesn't mean we're not opening up the torso, the head and the chest. If you're the type of player that likes to do that, it's a great feel for a lot of people to open it up. But to get a sensation of how these shoulders work, and this is a lot of the stuff that we've been doing on WorldClassGolf.com, but now with Dr. Robert J. Neal joined the platform, you know, you're really working with top information rather than sort of jumping from video to video. All right? There's not really many people out there hitting it really that solid. I know there's people writing on YouTube like they're world champions and stuff, but seriously, when it gets down, there's not many people really hitting it that well. So you want to get your hands on some good stuff. Right, now, looking at that shoulder blade, let's just go through that again as we just get a bit of a loop here, winding it up, and you see that side. Now, you can just see that when I swing back down and I get my shoulders to do that, it doesn't mean as the plane flattens, we're not trying to stick the thing back in behind us. But if we can get a sensation of that right shoulder and that loop, and then coming in, you might want to feel like your body really clears and opens up. You might be a swinger that perhaps doesn't open up as much, but that driver plane will really shadow out your entry. Let's have a look at one more thing here before we have a look at the evidence-based material. So I run right, the evidence-based video, the evidence-based material. Have a look at the move here from Louis Oosthuizen. It really is remarkable. I'm going to take you through a couple of swings here. At this shoulder blade at impact, people, they're almost identical. I mean, it has to make you sort of wonder, well, where am I? You know, if all these players, look at DeChambeau on the other side here, and we're seeing it's 33 degrees, both of them exactly in and around at impact. As we draw a line up here, it's just mind-blowing for me, and I've been able to improve so many people's driving. This is also a great way to open up your torso, your hips, right, by getting the tilts correct. Have a look at this line here, 60 degrees from Oosthuizen. We'll get a line down the leg here. 61 degrees from DeChambeau. This V1 Pro system, if you're serious about your coaching, you know, if you're serious about your golf, really, you need to get in there and use something like this. This is on a V1. This V1 system is on WorldClassGolf.com. And let's have a look here at, for $99 instead of around about your $600 for a year. Let's have a look at Colin Morikawa. You think there's no lateral movement in the golf swing. You know, people are talking about just turning that left hip behind him. What a load of garbage. As we see one of the biggest lateral shifts in the game, head backing up. He's at 35 degrees here with the shoulder plane on the way, at impact, I should say. Let's go through a few more. I really love this shadow effect here of McIlroy and Jason Day. 35 at impact, 2 degrees away from Oosthuizen, hips moving forwards. And look at the tilt and the head moving back. And with some players, they'll have a little bit more movement off the ball when they tend to have bigger lag angles. We'll see a look here at Mark Leishman backing back up with some really big angles here. But also at impact with the ball left and the head moving back, there's not a lot of shaft length. Important thing to notice. We'll see a similar thing here from Brandon Stone with the head, big lag angles, the left foot in the air, and also a big lateral shift. Guys, you know, when you're looking here at that flattening move I was talking about, it's really for some of you struggling to come in a little bit steep. We're just having a look at Jack Nicklaus. We're not going to get into the plane on this video. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And you can hit that bell, and you'll get plenty of videos coming your way. This head moving back, we'll see it. It's not a mistake. We'll see it a lot. And, you know, this move can actually help people. See Adam Scott here, just pulling back, flatten out this shaft and this plane a little bit. So if that's something, because we all have our little things in the swing that we need. Let's take a peek at the club golfer that I helped out the other day. This is quite interesting.
World Class Golf Instruction has over 700 detailed videos for every golfer. Practice programs and evidence-based material is applied to helping you to become your own coach and play your best golf. Join us in the chat room and join the community of World Class Golf Instruction.
And we might not all be, you know, the most flexible
the youngest or something like that, but we can see there's 26 degrees. This is the first couple. He actually hit a couple of heely, squeezy, toppy things, and about a handicap of 8. A couple of issues there with flexibility, with the heads lifting up and the shoulders over the mouth. But when we got into impact, we had a few sort of troubles there. 26 degrees with the shoulders in and around this area. And this one, you know, I just got him to sort of move the head, and I gave him a little bit of a feel with the right arm. And we got the shoulder. See how the head's further back? You see up into here? But what it did is it actually got him to turn more. Can you see that right leg here? See how it's closer together in here? So this is not just a way to stop turning. This is a way. And actually through the ball, we might have just a little bit less lateral shift as you had just a touch too much. But you can see the back position here moving down wonderfully. And guys, so, you know, he was really happy. He was launching it much higher and much straighter. Getting your hands on the right information, essential to, you know, reaching your potential. Online lessons, CraigHansonGolf.com and WorldClassGolf.com with Dr. Robert J. Neal joining us, guys. You're going to have some of the best information in world golf. Looking forward to passing it on to you. Thanks for watching. See you next time.